Hi, thank you for joining us here at RunDiffusion. We're going to talk today about the product design and visualization template. And to get to that, I first would like you to start at www.rundiffusion.com. And in the top right here, just go ahead and click here to log in. Once you log in, it'll bring you over to app.rundiffusion.com/run it/home. And that is the home of our RunDiffusion Run It platform. And on the RunDiffusion Run It platform, we have what's called Run It boards. And Run It boards are where you could build your own custom workflows. And what we've done, though, is we've featured some boards that we're making to make your life easier. So you don't have to go through all the hundreds of tools and try to put them together to make a workflow to get started. So this is a good starting point for the various topics. So, for example, we have a advertising video production template and the newly released product design and visualization template. Now, these aren't absolute. You're free to edit them as you please, but we want to give you a good springboard to start creating as fast as possible. So go ahead and click on the product design and visualization template. And when you do that, it's going to bring you over to this page. And this page here is a kind of a breakdown, a preview, if you will, of what's available on the template. It's got some example images and different tools for you. And if you're satisfied with all the different tools that are available on this template, all you got to do is click over here where it says Create Board. And when you do that, it'll give you a pop-up. Now, from here, you can upload a unique image. If you have multiple teams and you want to keep the board separate, you can annotate that with a different image. We have some preloaded ones, or you can use your library here or one from your computer. The title, you can edit that again as you please by team or project. It's totally up to you. We're just going to put a video demo for this one because that's what we're doing, right? And again, the description, you can put who's using it and why and so on and so forth down here. Once all the options are to your satisfaction, all you want to do is click over here in the bottom right-hand corner where it says Create. And what this will do is it will slowly create your board for you real quick. It'll finalize it and it'll drop you right into your board. So just give it a moment to do all that. And there we are. Now that we're in our board here, it's going to ask us, is this board going to be private for just you? Or are you going to share it with a selected restricted group of people? Or is it going to be shared with your whole team? Because I'm the only one that's going to be looking at this, we're going to keep it on private and we'll just hit close here. And that's going to drop us right into our product design and visualization board. I'm going to go ahead and minimize all the different tools here just so you can see them all. Okay. And I'll just give a quick overview of the different tools and what each of them do. But you can see that we have Z Image Turbo, Nano Banana, Seedream V4.5 Edit, Nano Banana Pro, Riverflow 2, Topaz Upscale, and Magnific Upscale. Now, what you've noticed is I have not added a video models on here because this board is just for the product design and the visualization. You can certainly add those tools, or you can use one of our other pre-made templates to access those tools as well. So let's go ahead and kind of do a quick overview of what each of these tools is good for. You can see we put little notes here, and you can edit those notes too, so your team knows what this board is for. So this one, for example, is good for photograph image concepting. It has good prompt control and natural photos. Z Image Turbo is a fairly recent model. It is an open source model, and so there's a lot of community support around it, and I'm looking forward to more Z Image Turbo variants or Z Image models in the future. Now, what I like this model for in particular is the speed and how well it does photographs. It makes very natural photographs, and you can also see that it's very cost effective. So it's only 11 tokens, so you can create a lot of images with it and really not worry about going over your token budget for the week or the month. And I had an idea in my head for a unique coffee maker, and I don't drink coffee, but I was in Vietnam recently and they love coffee. So I thought, okay, for product design, let me just play around and see if I can make a unique coffee maker using this template. So what I did is I love pearls, so I created some close-up pearl images here, some chrome pipe, and just looks like a kind of a matte black plastic square. And these are all close-up images because I was thinking of using them as textures in my final product. Okay, so I added them there. To use this tool, you would just type your prompt here and click run, and that's it. And it will, once it's done running, it'll put them here. And it's already extremely fast. You don't need to use the acceleration because it may change the steps. I think just keep it as it is, hit run, and enjoy. So that's how you get some really quick photographs. Now we're going to come over here to Nano Banana. This is the Nano Banana or Gemini 2.5 image model. It is not as good as Nano Banana Pro, but it is more cost effective, and it is still very good for what it can do, and it's very good at illustrative and abstract image concepting, and it's also good at text. This model is also good at text, for the record. These images were created with this model. So you can see here, I created a quick little mug, a logo, and a couple, you can see here, I told it to kind of give me some prototyping here just so I can get some ideas. And you can just kind of go through this and kind of get the feel of what you want. Now, I didn't have time to do my own sketches, but say you're in an office and you already have like some concept ideas and sketches, please use those. You don't need to use this model to create them. But since I didn't have the time to kind of come up with them, I used the AI to assist me. So I got a nice little logo, I've got some concepting, and now we're going to try to bring it all together. And so that's what we come on down to Dream V4.5 Edit. Now this is a good general purpose editing model. So there's different types of editing model, and I think this is a good general purpose one. For one, it is cost effective, and it's still very good at its job. I would say that Nano Banana Pro, this one, is probably the best on the market, but it's slower and it is expensive by comparison. I don't mean it's expensive as in it's overpriced. It is worth what you pay for it. And so keep that in mind. Now, I'll just want to show you some examples here. I took that mug and I took that logo and I put both the images here and I said, add the logo to the coffee cup. And there it is. And I think that's a good use of a good general purpose editing model. Just do a quick little edit. You know, you're not doing some crazy things. You're just kind of moving things around. And also, I kind of like mood boards. A lot of people like mood boards. So I just told it to create a collage of my images. I put 9 images here and told it to combine them together. And so now we have this mood board where we have the 2 that I like. And you can see I only used 2 of the pieces here from those other images. So what I did is when I uploaded those for this mood board, I used the annotate tool. That's one of the features of this model. And I scribbled out the ones I didn't want and I circled the ones I wanted it to use. And you can see that in my prompt here too. I removed the red circles around the sketches, but I did want it to know which one I wanted, so I circled them. So that's one way you can do it to make a really nice little mood board, get you ready. And again, a good general image editing tool. There, got a little tongue-tied there. Sorry about that. Now to pull out the big guns, and that's Nano Banana Pro. This is Gemini 3.0. It's a great model, but as you can see, it is substantially more costly than these other models. And so I think for just little general edits, it's overkill. You got to use the right model for the right task. So doing complex things that require complex tasks, use this model. But for simple things, I think you need to use Dream V4.5. Get a little more bang for your buck so you can keep iterating. Now let's look over here at the example here. I took that mood board that we made earlier and I told it, and I use the annotate tool, and you can see that here. You can see there's a 2 here and a 1 here. I just kind of annotated on the images so that I could tell it images marked 1 is a coffee maker, image marked 2 is for holding milk. So that's this one. And the logo, and add the logos to them. And there's the logo. Use the chrome, pearls, and black plate for their textures and colors to design the 2 products. And I kind of let it have the freedom to do what it wanted. I could have been more specific and said, we'll put the white pearl here, put the red pearl here, put the black pearl here. I said, do your thing. Now, it didn't actually include my white pearl, so that's kind of an oversight. So what I'd probably want to do is later go back and edit that and add that in if I wanted it. But I kind of liked where we're at here, so I didn't want to edit it further at this time. So I'm going to keep it as it is so I can keep pushing along, right? And you can see here, I then took this image and I came over here and I said, change the background to a penthouse suite, glamorous, product is in focus, background is a man sipping coffee in a bathrobe, kind of blurred a little bit, so it's all blurry. And it took my new product, it staged it for me in this little kind of almost an advertisement look. What I should have done, or could have done, or still could do, is I could take that logo and I could probably put it on his shirt here just to kind of maximize it in the scene if I wanted to. And could make any other edits I wanted using this Dream model here. So this isn't a linear step 1, step 2, step 3. This is use this one till you're happy, bring those together, and then make your edits and bring it back again. You're going to go up and down on the workflow. So don't get stuck like, oh, I'm on Nano Banana Pro now and I just got to use it. No, use what you need and then use the right tool for the job. When you need to do smaller edits, come back over here and do those edits. You need more textures or different ideas, make them here, and then again, bring them back together. Okay, let's keep continuing here. Now we have another edit model called Riverflow 2. Now, if you're wondering why there's 3 edit models, I like to include Riverflow 2. It's not a general purpose that you just use for everything. What I found it really good for is packaging, web design, product design, things like that. Like, for example, putting a logo on a box. If I already have a logo and on a box that I've made already with another, say, Dream or Nano Banana Pro, or maybe in your office, someone's already designed it for you. It's already ready to go. But we need to see what it looks like on different products. Riverflow 2 is just really good at that. And again, it's a very affordable model. It's good for web graphics too, to get your website ready, to get things edited correctly and kind of retain proportionality. I think it's a good model for that. If you need multiple frames of the same image, at different angles, you're going to want to go back to Nano Banana Pro. But for packaging and stuff, I think Riverflow 2 is great. So again, it's not linear. Go up and down as you need. Use the tools as you need them in your workflow. Okay, let's keep going on down here. Let me just minimize some of these here. Just a kind of habit of mine when I'm not using it. I like to minimize them just to make things easier to see. Okay, so then we want to go over to Topaz Upscale. Now this is an upscaler. Now this is not a generative upscaler. This is a true upscaler. So if there's any issues or artifacts in the image, when it upscales, it'll still have those, but it will not add new artifacts. And that's the beauty of a good upscaler, is that your original image it will not change. It will continue to keep that. However, sometimes you want it to do some of those generative changes. You want it to fix some of the little minor things. And that's why we would want to use the Magnifique upscaler, and which is also a very good model. And you can set it up, this one, to make some of those changes. You can turn up that creativity bar as you want, or turn it down as you want, so it's more of a true upscaler. You have both options here. This one's very simple, ready to roll. They're pretty comparable in token price, so it's not about that. It's more about what you need it for the task. This one goes up to 4 times is the max, and I believe this one can go all the way up to 16. So this one is by far a more powerful one. But if you do upscale, it maxes out, I think, at 10K. So keep that in mind. And there is a price difference, I believe, if you go up too high. So keep that in mind as well. But at the scale factor of 2, they're pretty comparable. But they're both good, and you can compare them to kind of see how they do. You load them up, you click the compare tool, and you can go back and forth and kind of see where we're at. And you can do that again. Let's do it with our product here. You can see on the logos in particular, see there's that blurring. It kind of makes that a little crisper. And same, you can see the blurring on the knobs and things. When it goes past that, you can see the pass. It really cleans those up. And you'll also notice it if you're working in like Photoshop or Krita. If you look at the original and this one, you'll see that it truly is upscaled. It is a much larger image and without all the artifacts that are added to it. And let's go ahead and click on this one real quick as well, just so you can get one more little kind of guide. See, it just makes it a little bit crisper. And there we go. And this is kind of the basic workflow that allow you to get your assets for product design and visualization. So you can really just pump out as many things as you want, and you can edit them as you need, and then kind of go back up and forth, go back up and down through the workflow until you're satisfied. And then when you're satisfied, get that last little upscale. Now, You might say, hey, I need a video model. I want to make videos too. I want to do all that. You're not limited. This is just the base to get you started. You can always add another tool by clicking here. And if you do that, you can pick from our selection. There's hundreds of models out there that you can add and customize. Or if you don't want something in particular here, you can always delete it off your board and say goodbye to it, and then add something else to replace it. You're not limited on our workflows to what we've started with. That is just a kind of a stepping stone to get you started. A drop off point to get you going on your journey here. If you have any questions for me about these workflows or any things like that, you can always open a support ticket. If you're an enterprise client, if you're a non-enterprise client, we also have a Discord where the community can talk about it and give you suggestions. We appreciate your help and appreciate using our service. And if you have any questions, please reach out immediately. Thank you so much.